Hi, it's me, Stitches. Willkommen, bienvenue, and welcome back to my channel where we are continuing the 13 weeks of Genderween. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and see who this week's gender bend cosplay is going to be. And that is Ariel. So, that's another goodie. Last week we had a goodie with Tinkerbell, and this week we have a goodie with Ariel. So, let's go ahead and do the research on her and find out what style she's gonna go with, and we'll go from there, okay? So, let's go! Start the research. Ariel. Ariel is a fictional character from Walt Disney Production. Little Mermaid. Okay. So The Little Mermaid originally came out on November 17th, 1989. Little Mermaid, starring quote-unquote Ariel. Let's go ahead and go back over to Pinterest. Look up Ariel. Okay. So, standard colors, purple, green, red are her standard colors. This for one thing. I cannot. I don't have the body and I don't have the confidence to do that. Examples of, fins, they're expensive. I know because Corey has one. But if I did something like this with a pair of trousers, I think I could pull that off. I actually like this. I don't have a corset. Well, no, I do have a corset. It's one of the half corsets. I wonder if it still fits. With my brown boots, and then find a pair of like blue jeans. Or not blue jeans, but like green jeans, and use some of that okay. So if I did something like this with something like this transfer vinyl, I could probably do that. I would have to get the iron-on one. This is the adhesive one. So this, which is like a green gold, and this one is a transfer for iron-on purposes. So I could use that. All depends on how much I still have. And then what if we do a Ariel Disney bound instead? Because that would give it the colors that you want for Ariel, but not going full fish form. But I'm kind of liking this style where it's trousers and a top, but it all depends on what we find at the thrift store. So again, I want to make this a masculine version of Ariel, and I don't know why, but I'm liking the Disney bound style. Again, I am not going to go bare-chested for this. I can't personally do that. Why do I really like that t-shirt? What if open. What if I took this? I'm going to save that. If I took this and put it onto onto a t-shirt, and then took the scales that I saved and put them sporadically onto a pair of jeans. Now I'm not going to do the ruffle, but what if I did a version of something similar to this? Obviously not bare midriff or anything like that, but and it wouldn't be overly done like that, so it would be more sporadic throughout. I think if I find the right pair of jeans, I can go ahead and do this. But again, we have to see what we can find at the thrift store first, and then we can make our concept from there. These are the two vinyls that I currently have. I can go ahead and do the fish scales with that. And I wanted to introduce my friend Corey Nation over on TikTok, who is a big inspiration for this video. He does amazing gender bend cosplays from Ariel all the way down to Harley Quinn. So if you're interested in that, go ahead and hop over to TikTok and give his page a look. I'll go ahead and link it down in the description box below. For me, for hair, I am just going to go ahead and dye my hair red. I use this red anyways to add a little bit of a tint into the brown color that I use to give myself red hair. So might as well just go full on hog and see what color my hair is going to be. And maybe I'll put in a little video of that down the line for time purposes. But again, the first thing we have to do is go over to the thrift store and see if we can find those green pants. Because if I could, I would love to find a pair of green pants like this. This is the leftover Tinkerbell costume that I had in this week's video. I made a little outfit for Barbie back here, and my idea was to make little outfits for Barbie so that you would see the previous videos clothing on the doll behind me, so that you can see that it carries on. So any scraps that I have left over from the previous costume, I may make it into a little outfit. So you may see it on her in the background, but first things first, let's go to the thrift store. See you tomorrow. Morning. It's now day 2. We're about to go to the thrift store with Miss B and Miss Donna. I've had 8 cups of coffee because I kind of overslept, and my hair is doing whatever the hell it wants to do today, so I'm kind of upset about that. But anyways, we're gonna go to the thrift store. Hopefully I can find those green jeans and or white jeans that I can dye green. And we're gonna go over to Joann's, where I'm gonna get the t-shirt, the vinyl, and potentially the dye for this whole thing. I'm still gonna dye my hair red for this because I don't have a red wig. But as of right now, let's go to the thrift store for day 2. Let's go. Here's the haul from the thrift store today. So I did find a pair of light green jeans that I'm actually going to use for Tinkerbell. These are the green jeans I'm going to use for Ariel. I have a pair of white jeans over here, just in case the Ariel ones don't turn out, I can dye them green. I did find a gray shirt, and then over at Joann's, I found iridescent iron-on and the white t-shirt that I'm going to do the shells on. It's 3 for $12 on t-shirts, so I got the one white t-shirt, the vinyl, and then the one shirt, and I've already printed cut the fish scales to be added onto the jeans, and that will be done later. Now I gotta wash everything and put everything away. So after the pants were completely washed, I decided to go ahead and start to do the alterations. They were about 2 sizes too big for me, so I started off here by taking off the belt loops, which were a little bit stubborn, And I took in about an inch on both sides, where you can easily go with the outer seam by just following the original seam and then tapering it in to about 1.5 inches at the very top. As you can see here, I have a pin marking where the grommets were so that I would not hit them as they were on the opposite side of the pants. I'm sewing in between the two grommets, continuing to stitch. And here I'm just overlocking the edge so it wouldn't fray, basically so that it can be washed multiple times. As you can see, here's the fit. It still needs a little bit of adjusting, that's why I had to pin it, mark it, and go back and just take it in just a little bit more to get rid of the curve that they came from, as they are women's jeans and not men's jeans. And after the alterations, you can see right here, they fit a whole lot better, just like they were made for me. Now I did leave off the belt loops and I'm not going to put them back on. But here I am after I went ahead and cut out the seashells that are going to go on the shirt. Follow the manufacturer's instructions on what temperature you're supposed to set your iron to in order to get the vinyl to adhere to your fabric. But it's pretty simple. You just iron it down and then peel it off once it's completely cooled and you have your design. And just like I did for the shirt, I'm doing the same exact thing for the fish scales, except I am sporadically putting them onto the jeans so they're not all one form of fish scale, and it kind of just gives it the illusion that the whole pants are a full-out mermaid leg. And after everything that I did today for day 2, I am going to dye my hair for day 3 and hopefully finish this project up. We'll see how things go. See you tomorrow. Good morning. So it is day 3 and I'm still having my coffee, but you can see she's in her new outfit. The costume is done. I need to do my hair. I need to cut it and I need to color it. So we're gonna try to do that with a mask on. So, but I need to finish my coffee. Maybe another one. So let's see how this goes. So what I'm going to do is probably do a voiceover for the rest of this video, because when I turn the light on, this is all you're gonna hear. So I'll go ahead and get everything set up, and then I will go ahead and start cutting my hair. So right here I'm just explaining that I have 2 mirrors as a setup as I go ahead and set up my 2 different clippers. Now the best trick that I have is to take an old collar from a t-shirt that doesn't fit or has fallen apart and wrap it around your head as a guide shown here. I then clipped up my hair so it's out of the way, and then I started with the lowest setting on the guard itself to just trim it all down. And then once I take off the guideline that gives me a straight cut, then I'll go ahead and start fading it up. And at this point is where I'm fading it up slowly and increasing the guard length on the clippers themselves the higher I go. And it's a little tricky, but I've been doing this since COVID started, because when you're in the military, you still have to maintain military hair and grooming standards, so I just taught myself how to do it by using YouTube videos, actually. Over the next couple minutes, it's pretty much me giving myself a haircut before I go into dyeing my hair. So, I'll let you enjoy the time lapse. So I got it cut. Now I'm gonna go ahead and clean everything up, and then I'm going to dye it. So I'll be right back. Okay, so I'm back, and again, I'm gonna have to turn the fan on to do this, so it's probably gonna be a voiceover. But what I'm using is, I'm using Manic Panic's Vampire Red for this. I have used it before, and this is not sponsored in any way, shape, or form, so don't ding me on that. But I'm gonna go ahead and put this in my hair, let it sit for about an hour, and then take a shower and pretty much do the reveal. So, lights on, sound, unfortunately, is going to be horrible. Sorry. Always highly recommended with any form of chemical to do a test patch on yourself, on your elbow, just to see if you are or are not allergic to the chemicals. I have been using Manic Panic for several years now, and I like it, but some of the colors I don't. So I've experimented a lot, and I know what my tolerances are. But always, please do remember to wear older clothing that you don't care about. This was a shirt that I made and it didn't fit right, so now it's my dyeing shirt. Okay, so I'm gonna let it sit for about 40 minutes, and then I'm going to go ahead and clean everything up, and we'll see you for the reveal. I really hope that you enjoyed my version of Ariel, and that it can maybe inspire somebody out there to do not just a cosplay, but more of a Disney bound, so you can have a relaxed costume to go to a con. So as my friends like to do, we like to go on a Sunday as a character, but not necessarily in full cosplay. So doing a Disney bound is another type of cosplay, just not so much a full-on costume that can hinder movement and everything else. So let's go ahead and do the recap. So some things that I would change about this costume if I were going to remake her in the future. I would change out the seashells to be a darker vinyl. Unfortunately, the vinyl I did not show up too well on the white shirt, but I think it's still a cute shirt. But to give the whole thing, if you were to look at somebody at a distance and go, oh, that's Ariel, I would recommend going with a darker vinyl for the seashells. Some words of advice if you are going to dye your hair with Manic Panic. Good company, just some bits of advice. Use old towels because the red is a semi-permanent. It will continue to wash out as you wash your hair. Also, have a bottle of bleach spray nearby so you can spray down your shower once you're done taking a shower. Also, bit of recommendation, change out your pillowcases because otherwise, if you have white pillowcases like me, they will not be white for very long. So, just a bit of advice. Always follow the manufacturer's instructions on how to dye your hair properly. As you can see, I did stain my scalp a little bit, so that'll wash out in a couple days. So if you're gonna do this before convention, do it at least a day or two before the convention so that it washes out and it washes off your skin. So just a little bit of advice. So if this is the type of content that you are enjoying and you're enjoying my 13 weeks of Genderween with week 8 now, I'll put the right number right here. I believe it's week 8. So go ahead and like, share, subscribe, and follow me back again for next week, where we are continuing the 13 weeks of Genderween. You see.